Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and a very good day. I hope you all are doing well. Getting back into the routine, taking your live classes as well as watching the videos regularly on the Google Classroom. A gentle reminder, a tickler. Please sit with your textbooks, pens, pencils, and something to write on so that you can make notes and use them very effectively in future. All right. The best thing one can do is to help others. We can progress, move on by lifting others. Actually, when you are helping someone, you are helping yourself. We rise, we grow when we help someone to grow with us. You learn, share your learning, and then you will learn more. Teach one, each one. Knowledge, education is something which grows more when you share more. So let's help each other in growing and becoming better from what we were yesterday. So my dear students, what are we going to do today? Today, we are going to have a comparative study of northern and western mountains. So these were the two mountains we did last week, Northern Mountain and Western Mountain. Northern Mountain and Western Mountains are very different from each other in some topographical and climatic features. Now let's first discuss the mountain ranges. We all know Northern Mountain is comprised of two ranges, Karakoram Range, which separates Pakistan from China, and Himalayas. Himalayas are further divided into three, Central Himalayas, Outer Himalayas, and Sivaliks. Sivaliks are very much towards the south, near the city of Abbottabad. Northwestern Mountain is comprised of one range which is called Hindu Kush. Hindu Kush serves as a natural border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So I repeat, Northern Mountains are made up of two ranges, Karakoram and Himalayas. Himalayas are further divided into three parallel ranges. Parallel ranges means that they go one after the other, side by side, together. Central Himalayas, Lesser Himalayas, and Sivaliks. Sivaliks are right towards the south and they are called as Sivalik. They are close to the city Abbottabad. Northwestern mountains are Hindu Kush Range, which serves as a natural border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. Well, now the Western Mountains. Western Mountains are comprised of four mountain ranges: Waziristan Hills, Suleiman Range, Kirthar Range, and Safed Ko. As discussed earlier, Safed Ko are called Safed Ko because they are covered with snow throughout the year. Kirthar Range acts as a border between Sindh and Balochistan, while Suleiman separates Punjab from KPK. Waziristan Hills are also located in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Now look at these mountains. If we talk of the topographical features, both the mountains, Karakoram and Safed Ko, are white, covered with snow. But look at Karakoram. You can see this steep, very steep and pointed peak. Whereas in the Safed Ko, it's quite gentle, less slopey, uneven, and even you cannot see sharp peaks over here. They are more rugged, both of them are rugged and covered with snow. Physical features. Northern mountains are snow-capped with high-rise peaks, big glaciers among ranges. The northern mountains are source of river for subcontinent. Mountain passes and gorges are there. Contradictory to this, some parts of the northern mountains are not receiving enough rainfall, such as Gilgit. In few parts of the northern mountains, the vegetation may be scarce, very less. But the regions of Himalayas where the glaciers are found, they act as a source of water to the rivers. In western mountains, the mountains are medium height, barren land, rough, rugged, with no vegetation. Water shortage is common in this region. They don't have enough rainfall. Most of the rivers which are flowing in western mountains are seasonal, which means they only flow during the rainy season. This region has very scanty and scattered vegetation, and there are some natural passes. Natural passes are the openings which allow the movement of people, goods, and animals. They may also connect one country to another or one place to another. Hindu Kush and Waziristan. Now the Hindu Kush mountains are all covered with this snow. Whereas this mountain can be seen barren, very less vegetation, and the picture itself shows that how dry this region is. Now come to the peaks. Highest peak. Now when we talk of peaks or highest peak of the mountain ranges, we are talking in reference to Pakistan. These are long ranges which run from Afghanistan maybe up till Nepal. But when we talk of highest peak, we will take reference of Pakistan. Maybe the highest peak of a mountain in some other country is something else. So whatever names are shared now or were shared earlier, they all are in reference to Pakistan. So Northern Mountain has highest peaks such as Karakoram's highest peak is K2, 8,611 meters high. Tirchmir is the highest peak of Hindu Kush in Pakistan, 7,690 meters. Nanga Parbat is the highest peak of Central Himalayas, 8,126 meters. So these are the highest peaks of northern and northwestern mountains. Along with that, Mur Kushi is also a very high mountain, 5,833 meters. Now let's talk about or let's have a look at the peaks of Western mountains. There are 4 Western mountains peak. There are 4 mountains, so obviously every mountain has its own peak. Safed Ko, its highest mountain peak is Sikaram, 4,760 meters high. Takht-e Suleiman is the highest peak of Suleiman Range, 3,383 meters. Kutojo Qabr is the highest peak of Kirthar range, 2,097 meters. Rasko is the highest peak of Rasko, 3,004 meters. So every mountain has a different highest peak. But if you compare the highest peak of Western Mountains with the highest peak of Northern Mountains, you will find that the Northern Mountains are more taller than the Western Mountains. Their higher peaks are 8,000 or 7,000 meters high, whereas the highest peak of Western Mountains is 4,000 meter high. So it means that the Western Mountains are medium heighted, whereas the Northern or Northwestern Mountains are very high. After the peaks, let's have a look at the passes. Passes which are there in the mountains, which allow and facilitate the movement of passengers, people, animals, and goods. They have been source of invaders' movement. Alexander the Great entered subcontinent through these historical passes. These passes are also serving as the connection between Pakistan and its neighboring countries. In northern mountains, some very important passes are Hunjarab Pass. It connects Pakistan with China. It is located in the Karakoram range. Then we have Babusar Pass, which is located in Himalayas. Dora Pass in Hindu Kush, and Karakoram Pass in Karakoram. Hunjarab Pass and Karakoram Pass connect Pakistan with China. They are the basis of our trade with the country. In Western Mountains, some important passes include Khyber Pass in Safedko. This connects us with Afghanistan. Bolan Pass in Suleiman Range, Khojak Pass in Toba Kakar Mountain, Gomal Pass in Waziristan Hills, and Tochi Pass also in Waziristan Hill. Gomal Pass and Tochi Pass actually connects the place with the internal part of the country. So Khyber Pass is one of the most important in terms of our connections with Afghanistan. Climatic features. Climatic features of these two places may resemble to an extent. Some of the northern mountains and some of the western mountains are extremely cold throughout the year. The mountain ranges, the peaks are covered with snow. In northern mountains, temperature remains low throughout the year. The winters are extreme with heavy rainfall. The summers are mild and short. In some months, it may rain over there. Sunshine is there except for the rainy days. Throughout the day, cool air blows in the region. In the western mountains, the water is scarce. It's mostly dry. Some of them are cold while some are dry. Due to lack of rainfall, water shortage is common. Seasonal rivers can be found, which may form temporary lakes. The region has scattered and scanty vegetation due to arid climate. Arid climate is a climate which is mostly dry, hot or cold, but doesn't rain enough. Now this is how the Himalayas, Suleiman and Kirthar look like. This is White Mountain of Himalayas. This is Suleiman, where you can see a pass, and these are Kirthar Mountains. Kirthar Mountain and the Suleiman Range are dry. You can see very less vegetation. Does not have snow, whereas Himalayas have snow. You can see this ball shaped depression, which is known as Cirque or Curry, Cirque. This is usually formed due to the erosion and falling of snow, slipping of snow. So the northern and western mountains we found are a bit different from each other, but they both are extremely important for our country. Northern mountains are at high range at the altitude of average 6,000 meters. They are covered with rock and ice, which helps in the formation of glaciers. The area is rich in water as in summers when the ice melts, it creates small tributaries which join together in some rivers. As the temperature is low, so very less population is found there. People who are living in the northern mountains, they practice transhumance. Transhumance is the movement of people from the mountain peaks to the foothills during extreme weather of winters. And as the winters end, they go back to their homes. Agriculture is practiced during summers, whereas the deforestation, lumbering, taking the wood and selling in the market is also a very common profession. These regions are very rich in natural beauty, and so they attract tourists. Western mountains are bare of vegetation. The climate does not support the growth of plant as it is an arid climatic zone, usually dry throughout the year. Water is available but in small quantity. Canal irrigation is not possible due to mountains. While agriculture cannot be done here, but these are very rich in minerals. Limestone and sandstones are found here. The landscape is mostly rugged, uneven, rough. But the mountain ranges, which are very rich in minerals, cannot be utilized to their best due to lack of infrastructure, finances, and most of the places are non-accessible. Now let's quickly rewind and recap what we discussed. We did the comparative study, which helped us in understanding the topographical, climatic, and drainage features of the two most important mountain ranges located in two different directions. I hope you people have noted down. Comparative studies are very important in order to create better understanding. So, my boys and girls, thank you so much for being excellent listeners. I hope you people will write down comments in the Google Classroom. Today, I'm not giving you any question. Let me see what do you share with us in your Google Classroom comments. Be regular to your Zoom live classes, which will further enhance your learning and understanding. Till we meet next, take care of yourself and see you all. Allah Hafiz.